Hello, Uganda and beyond. Welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biarohanga. The outgoing Chief Justice Owinidolo, for the years he has served the country, rising through the ranks of the judiciary to the position of Chief Justice until his retirement. This was echoed by different speakers during the official handover ceremony held at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala following his retirement upon attaining the constitutional age limit. Let's take a look at the details.
Article 144(1) of the Constitution provides that a judicial officer may retire at any time after attaining the age of 60 years and shall vacate office. Clause 1A further provides that in case of the Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, a Justice of Supreme Court, and a Justice of Court of Appeal, retirement shall be upon attaining the age of 70 years. In compliance with these constitution provisions, the Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoi Owinidolo has officially retired from office after clocking 70 years. Outgoing Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoi Owinidolo officially handed over office to the Deputy Chief Justice at the Judicial Headquarters in Kampala.
With all of this together, I had the privilege to manage the affairs of the judiciary for the past 5 years. I have constantly considered myself merely as a first among equals. That is my style of administration. Therefore, whatever achievements that we have registered in the judiciary in the last 5 years must be attributed to each and all of us in the top management of the judiciary.
Dodo commended the strong working relationship he enjoyed with the entire judiciary.
I do so today with confidence that the judiciary is in capable hands, led by men and women of integrity, competence, and commitment to the rule of law. As I take my leave, I do so with gratitude for the trust reposed in me, pride in what we have collectively accomplished, and faith in the future of Uganda's judiciary.
The acting Chief Justice and Deputy Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeija, described the retired Chief Justice as a hard-working leader.
I can only point about 2 types of leadership from him. That is participatory leadership and transformational leadership styles. Those are the 2 he employed, and this is what led us to achieve what we achieved. He was one of those who initiated the peace settlement between the LRA rebels and the government of Uganda. He didn't mention that, but that was massive. It prevented the carnage.
The principal judge, Lady Francis Jane Francis Abodo, described the retired Chief Justice as a mentor and administrator.
Your Lordship's contribution to justice administration has extended far beyond the bench. As the former Director of Public Prosecutions, I can personally attest to your support to me as a DPP and of course to the entire office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
The Permanent Secretary to the Judiciary, Dr. Pius Bigirimana, applauded the retired Chief Justice for championing alternative dispute resolution mechanism.
I must say you are the grandfather of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. Thank you very much for steering this judiciary and making ADR your trademark. And throughout the time the Chief Justice has been here, I have found comfort, I have found commitment.
The retired Chief Justice, Justice Alphonse Chigamoi Owinidolo, served the judiciary for 17 years, including 5 years as Chief Justice of Uganda. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
Thank you, Rebecca and Nantongo, for that. Now we are still talking the Chief Justice retirement. Chief Justice Alphonse Owinidolo has officially retired from judicial service after attaining the mandatory retirement age of 70, bringing an end to his tenure and at the helm of Uganda's judiciary. Timothy Sibasi brings us to speed.
Owinyi-Dolo stepped down on Sunday, January 18, 2026, concluding a judicial career that began in 2008 when he was appointed a judge of the High Court. He later served on the Court of Appeal before being elevated to Deputy Chief Justice in 2017 and subsequently assumed office as Chief Justice in August 2020. During his tenure as head of the judiciary, Owinyi-Dolo focused on strengthening the court system through increased funding, improved infrastructure, and the adoption of technology to speed up case handling. He also promoted mediation, plea bargaining, and small claims courts as alternatives to lengthy litigation processes, initiatives aimed at reducing case backlogs and easing prison congestion. One of the major developments under his leadership was the relocation of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal to a new twin-tower judicial complex in Kampala, constructed to improve access to justice and enhance service delivery. Unlike previous transitions, Owinyi-Dolo leaves office before the appointment of a new Chief Justice. The Judicial Service Commission has already submitted a list of nominees to the President for consideration. Those shortlisted include Justices Mike Chibita, Catherine Bamgemerere, Monica Mujenyi, Christopher Mandrama, and Deputy Chief Justice Dr. Flavian Zeije. While his tenure was largely praised for judicial reforms, it also attracted criticisms, particularly during the 2021 presidential election petition, which exposed internal disagreements within the Supreme Court. Before joining the bench, Owinyi-Dolo served as a member of Parliament, participated in drafting the 1995 Constitution, and worked as legal counsel in peace negotiations. He holds academic qualifications in law and conflict resolution.
Thank you so much, Timothy, for that. The Electoral Commission has dismissed media reports claiming that the Ajuri County parliamentary seat has already been decided. The Commission says no winner has been declared, insisting that the electoral process in Ajuri County is still ongoing following the disputes in 18 polling stations, in which a repeat has been decided on the 27th of this month. Let's look at the details.
The Electoral Commission has moved to clarify what it describes as misleading media report suggesting that the incumbent member of parliament for Ajuri County, Dennis Samson Obua, has lost the parliamentary race. According to the returning officer for Leptong district, Jessica Adon-Ochienna, tallying of results has not been concluded in Ajuri County due to disagreements arising from 18 polling stations located in Abako and Away sub-county in Leptong district. Adon says following consultations with the commission, a decision was taken to conduct a repeat in the affected polling stations on the 27th of this month.
Ajuri has 178 polling stations, but so far we have tallied results for only 160. The results of these polling stations were not tallied because of disagreements on the results as the returning officer was reading out to the public.
She says until this process is completed, no candidate can legally be declared winner of the Ajuri County Member of Parliament race.
The repeat election will be only in these polling stations in order to give us results that will cover the entire 178.
The Ajuri County parliamentary race has 5 candidates, but the contest remains particularly tight between NRM's Dennis Samson Obua and the UPC's Fred Jalameso.
The elections will take place on 27th of January, and in this case, candidates are not allowed to campaign because it's considered that they had already campaigned enough. My appeal to the media, get the information, the exact information on ground to avoid causing anxiety and excitement in the community.
The returning officer further appealed to the media to exercise professional responsibility, warning that premature or inaccurate reporting could cause unnecessary public anxiety and excitement. Ediulwa, UBC News.
Thank you, Eddie, for that. The highly contested race for special interest group representatives to Parliament, particularly the workers' representatives, has marked a significant milestone with jubilation among winners and disappointment among those who fell short. According to the reports that came in, Naku Fiona has emerged victorious as the female workers' representative to Parliament after securing 290 votes. Juko brings us to speed.
Today marks the second edition of the 2026-2031 polling exercise, with Ugandans voting for special interest groups and specifically workers' representatives to Parliament. Here at Chibuli Secondary School, the exercise has concluded successfully and counting of votes is in progress. Signs of jubilation mark victory for some, while others face disappointment, following the tightly contested race for workers' representative seats in Parliament.
Social person, and I relate well with people, and that is what has made me popular across the country. And I believe I'll use my ability to make sure that we work together as a team. I want to congratulate all the participants that we were contesting with, especially the incumbent. It's been a tough one. She has put up a good fight. Congratulations, but we always have one winner. Thank you for giving me the way to also lead the labor movement. And I want to promise my electorates that we shall work together to make sure that we build the labor movement, we work in the interest of the country and develop our livelihoods.
We need first of all to appreciate the delegates of all corners of the country for entrusting the young girl. I think she was among the young girls, or she was among the young persons who was in this race. But according to the entrust, the delegates have trusted him. They have given him this victory.
Naku, there for you. Now, the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, has convened a meeting of the newly elected and returning members of Parliament from all political parties and independents in the Busoga sub-region. During the meeting at Centenary Apartments in Masese, Jinja City, Kadaga cautioned the legislators against being used for political interests at the expense of Busoga. Let's take a look.
Kadaga tipped the Member of Parliament that some of their predecessors lost seats due to infighting rather than focusing on service delivery. She urged them to collectively demand key infrastructure projects. National Unity Platform leading members of Parliament welcomed Kadaga's initiative that fronts Busoga's interests. Bukoli North Member of Parliament Jamal Mokove warned colleagues against repeating the mistakes of past leaders.
It is very prudent that this meeting sticks on Busoga issues. We disagree on other issues, but let us stick to Busoga issues. And I wanted to make that clear, very clear, because for me, when it comes to Busoga,
Jinja Southwest Member of Parliament Dr. Timothy Lusalabatua thanked Kadaga for intervening when his election victory was under threat. The newly elected woman Member of Parliament for Jinja District, Peace Tibiaze, called for collective support from fellow leaders.
Webaya Chimbi, Alengata Industrial Park, there was a taka in the district in the Takarinji, to knock from the Gary sourcing the Takalio.
Independent Kagoma North MP Moses Waliomu called on President Yoweri Museveni to recognize Kadaga's contribution.
President Museveni Obango Wabona Mawulire, Nekusaba, Njokaira Alitwara Kadaga, or Vice President of our Prime Minister.
Ndimu chala akolera abantu bonabona. Ndimu chala alina boa holozeri kumineri kumi. Montukire mbawe kusobola okuextendinga projects edo.
Kadaga urged the MPs to unite, focus on the needs of their constituents and avoid political divisions. Nals Bawini reporting for UBC.
Thank you so much, Nalusiba Winnie, for that. Now, UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, and we shall do return with business.
Welcome home to entertainment. To Wi-Fi everywhere. To high-speed internet. To security. To first-class support. To convenience. Welcome home to MTN WakaNet, superior internet for every home. Visit www.mtn.co.ug/WakaNet. Welcome home. Together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome from that short commercial break. Now UBC Lunch News continues with business. The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development is upbeat and confident that Uganda remains on track to achieve her first oil by July 2026. In her assessment tour of the oil activities in the Albertine region, Dr. Ruth Nankabira urged all stakeholders to meet fully their obligations, calling for collective effort to deliver what she described as historic national milestone. Dennis Sigowa reports.
The oil race is on. The government of Uganda and the joint venture partners China National Offshore Oil Corporation (CNOOC)
Total Energies and Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, have reaffirmed their commitment to deliver fast commercial oil in 2026. After over a decade of anticipation, the long wait may finally be nearing its end. 2026 stands as a defining milestone in Uganda's journey of transformation. It is the year that the country will finally join the elite league of oil-producing countries.
It is for real that Uganda is soon becoming an oil-producing country. And maybe we shall change attire and begin dressing like those people who are oil producing, the sheikhs and sheikhats. But all in all, our economy is going to...
With timelines tightening, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, and key players in the oil and gas sector have hit the ground running. In the first week of this year, the minister, accompanied by a high-level delegation, inspected the progress of marine storage and terminal facility in Tanga, Tanzania, a critical component of the East African crude oil pipeline.
This will be an important step leading up to that point where we will eventually have a refinery up, 60,000 barrels to be fed to the refinery, and 200,000 barrels which will continue to be evacuated through here at Tanga for the next 25 years and beyond.
With the mission accomplished in Tanzania, the delegation proceeded to the Albertan Graben in Uganda, where progress and infrastructure readiness ahead of the July 2026 deadline were closely assessed. The itinerary included ECOP's Pump Station 1, Sinuk's Kingfisher oil field on the shores of Lake Albert, and Total Energies' Tilenga project.
Come July 31st, after the commissioning, that commissioning will be a technical commissioning. And the political commissioning will be done in October. We shall see a commissioning of the jetty at the end where crude oil will be, exported. That will be in October. So money will begin trickling in from the transportation tariff.
During the site visits, officials were briefed on the construction milestones, commissioning schedules, and the overall readiness of critical oil infrastructure.
In terms of pumping, Pump Station 1 is the heart of ECOP. Now, PS1 is at 79% completion. There are different aspects of the project, civil, electrical, mechanical, but this project is on schedule for July 31st, 2026, where we shall ensure that the entire ECOP pipeline system is ready and available to deliver crude oil to the international market.
The high-level engagement underscores the strong political willingness to deliver Uganda's first commercial oil in the second half of 2026. Dennis Igawa for UBC.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for that. Business activity in Kampala City has swiftly returned to normal following the recent general election, defying widespread fears of chaos and post-election violence. In interviews with our reporter, Dennis Sigoa, city residents, most of them small-scale entrepreneurs, say staying away from work is no longer an option as the rising cost of living and mounting household bills demand uninterrupted economic activity. We have the details.
We are in downtown Kampala, specifically at the Queensway roundabout. From the look of things, there is the semblance of normalcy. A few days ago, actually the day before yesterday, we were at this specific point, at this particular point, and everything had come to a halt. But right now, looks like Kampala, the people of Kampala are returning to their enterprises. They are ready to do business.
I see everything is okay. Yes.
So what, you have been moving around the city. Will you say that all the businesses are open and people are excited to be back?
The way I see it's fine.
The way I see it's fine.
Yeah.
This is the clip today, or the video footage for today. Compare it with Saturday. There's a very big difference. On Saturday, there was no traffic. there are no people in the city, but today things are different. It seems people are out there, and those ones who are home are now back, and they're trying to do some business. Of course, Kampala people know what has brought them to the city, and for them, most of them know they're here in the city to make money. And the few people we have talked to, all of them have the same line. They say that the politics does not put food on their table, and for them, they want to make money.
No, for us, we are businessmen. But we have been doing business smoothly. Nothing has happened. We are just okay. All right.
The situation in Kampala so far, it's okay. Nothing has changed so much according to what we anticipated to happen. So let them come and work. Nothing much has changed.
So Kampala people know it's about making money?
Only money what we are looking for. Yes. So sitting at home fearing Kampala, it makes no sense.
Abantu baagala okukola embeera mbi mu bantu tubadde twalindirira okulonda naye okulonda ekivalo kwawedde tulina okudda mirimu gyaffe ne tutandika okukola kubanga renti asigala atambula ow'ewaka n'ow'amaduuka.
Ekyo Museveni kyasooka okukola ku kya security. Bw'oba olina akafuyo ng'akoleta mu kibuga bajja kukolako we bali bangi.
From the look of things, people are happy to be back in the city to run their businesses. And now that there is a return to normalcy, they are happy and they are willing to do business, bearing in mind that in a few weeks, schools will be reopening and they of course have to pay their rent. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
Thank you, Dennis, for that. Food and climate change advocates under the plant-based treaty are raising alarm over a surge in obesity and other non-communicable diseases across the low and middle-income countries, a growing public health crisis, speaking during an engagement with the Catholic religious leaders at Laodicea Center in Mbuya. The Catholic parish at the advocates called for a swift plan towards the food systems under the Africa to reclaim the indigenous food as a solution to public health and climate justice. Let's take a look.
As obesity and non-communicable diseases rise across low and middle-income countries, food and climate justice advocates are advocating for a return to Africa's traditional diets.
When we look at animal-based food products, most of them are processed, and in the process they are processed with additives, hormones and other antibiotics, and at the end of it all they end up posing a health threat to our lives.
We want to offer you that knowledge, that awareness, and to bring these implementations onto plan. So what you decide what you want to bring on your plate for lunch, for dinner, you can make that informed decision.
Meeting Catholic religious leaders at the Laudato Si Center in Mbuya Catholic Parish, the plant-based treaty movement called for promotion of plant-based food systems as a solution to human health.
We want our governments to make sure that they have the best intent with us, not follow the big corporations, not follow the media, the marketing, and focus on what we need to thrive and sustain as a healthy society.
When we shift to plant-based food systems, we shall not only be food secure, but we shall be consuming food that is healthy, nutritious, and the food that will, at the end of the day, solve the problem of malnutrition.
Plant-based treaty global coordinator Cindy Veltens says food systems are driving climate change and call for a return to traditional plant-based diets.
But animal agriculture is demanding so much resources. The governments can take into place to make sure that we have policies into place to focus on systems that are good for the people economically, sustainably, climate-friendly, and health-wise.
On the overall, engaging communities to adopt more plant-based meals is essential for health and sustainability.
When we think about enterprises or entrepreneurship, it's something that could also be used to empower youth and women in the agricultural sector, both for the market and also for the home consumption.
Through churches, we call upon all people in our country to join us, to join our struggle so that we can get endorsements and we we save our climate.
Plant-based treaty campaigners also call for reforms in dietary guidelines, and urgent action is needed to fix failing food systems.
That food insecurity story brings us to the very end of UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. Goodbye and God bless Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
UBC, inspire.